Hi, Lions. It's so good to see you. So, in this lesson, lesson number 10, we are going to learn some new sounds, sight words, and syllables because that's going to help us to be automatic readers and spellers. And it's also going to help us to understand what words mean when they're new to us. All right, so let's get started with some of our phonics sounds. This sound says ch. The T is silent. This is a digraph. These letters make one sound, and it says ch, kind of like a choo-choo train, or you can think of itch. This spelling, TCH, is at the end of catch, fetch, match, at the end of itch. So that can be your motion to try to remember the spelling and what this sounds like. The line here, this is representing that you're only going to see this spelling at the end of a word. You'll never see it spelled like this at the beginning. So my turn, ch, together, ch. Your turn, excellent, good job. Let's review our other two sounds we know. Remember, this says I, like and buy, my, fry. Whenever you see Y at the end of a single syllable word, it says I. My turn, I. Together, I. Your turn, great. When you see Y at the end of a word that has more than one syllable, it says E, like family. Okay, my turn. Excuse me, my turn. E. Together, E. Your turn. Good job. All right, let's practice making the sounds that we know. Remember, some of these look like they're nonsense, but we're practicing it because when you are going to learn to break apart a multi-syllabic word, that means a word that has more than one syllable. Some of the syllables will look like nonsense, so you have to learn to apply the rules of the syllable types in order to read it. So that's why we're practicing. Okay? Ch, ant, chant. Remember when you see a unit, like I saw an, and I actually knew that A-N-T is ant. You read the unit versus the individual sound. So that's why I said ch, ant, chant. Good. Let's look here. And this is a closed syllable because you see there's a TH. Sorry, I'm trying to move my hand out of the way for you. There you go. There's a TH after the consonant. Anytime there are after the vowel, anytime there are consonants following a vowel, it's a closed syllable. And that means the vowel is going to make a short sound. So I know this is going to say ah, broth, broth. Good, like chicken broth. St, itch, stitch. Remember, that's our new spelling we learned. TCH says ch. Good. Ch, owl, chow. I know AL is owl. That's why I didn't sound it out sound by sound. This would be like in challenge. Okay. Death, death. Chut, like chutney. Snish, snish. Etch. Remember, the TCH says ch. You don't hear the T. You only hear one sound. It's a digraph. Okay, we have a couple of, or three new sight words. So we will read, spell, read. Only. O-N-L-Y. Only. Good job. Okay. People. Okay. People. Let's spell it. P-E-O-P-L-E. People. This has the final stable syllable we learned at the end of people, pool. Okay. Water. Let's spell it. W-A-T-E-R. Water. Good. Okay. Let's go ahead and for the rest of our sight words, we're just going to read them. Another. Should. Been. How have you been? Become. Any. Said. There. This there, remember, is about belonging to somebody. It is their book. There. This there is talking about location. Remember, because we can see here is in it, which is a location. Your, were, what, they, have, from. Very good. Okay, now we're going to do syllable transformations. Okay, so we're going to use what we know about open and closed syllables to help decode the syllable. Okay, so this one is a closed syllable type because you can see there's a consonant after the vowel. So that's going to be a short vowel sound. So it's going to say I. Ready? Nil, nil. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to take one letter away, and now we have an open syllable. Remember, when you have an open syllable, there's nothing blocking the vowel. So it can say its long vowel sound, which is its name. So now the I is going to say I. Ready? Nigh, nigh. Very good. Now I'm going to take a letter away and add a letter. Okay, it's now again a closed syllable because there's a consonant blocking the I. So it's a short vowel sound. So it'll say ill, ill. Very good. All right, let's try another one. Let's look at this syllable. Okay, what type of syllable is that? You're right. It's an open syllable because there's no consonant following the vowel. So that means the vowel, the door's open for it to, remember, run out of its house screaming its name. And so the long O is O, so fo. Good. Now what happens when I add this? Good, it becomes a closed syllable because now we have a consonant blocking it. Closed syllables have short vowel sounds. So let's try it with the short O. F, op, fop. Very good. Let me take a letter away. And now we have op, kind of like opportunity. Okay, two more of these. Let's do, what type of syllable is this? You're right, it's a closed syllable because we have a consonant following a vowel. That means the vowel is going to have a short vowel sound. So it's going to say eh. Ready? Egg, egg. Now let's look at it. T, egg, teg. Let me take a letter away. And now we have an open syllable because there's not a consonant blocking the vowel. So we now have a long vowel sound. So this will say E. So this will say T, T. Very good. Okay. Last transformation we'll do. What type of syllable? That's right, it's open. So if it's an open syllable, is it a long or short vowel? You're right, a long vowel sound. So A will say A. Ready? May, may. Very good. Now let me add a consonant. What type of syllable is this? Good. It's a closed syllable. So when you have a closed syllable type, what kind of vowel sound is it? Is it a long vowel sound or is it a short vowel sound? Right, it's short. So this will say ah. Ready? Mav, Mav, like the Mavericks. I think they're a basketball team. I'm not sure. And I'm going to take a letter away. Is this an open or closed syllable? You're right. It's a closed syllable because there's a consonant following the vowel. So does that mean it's a long or short vowel sound? Short vowel sound. So this will say ah. Ready? Av, av. like avenue. Fifth Avenue is a famous place that you can visit in New York. All right. Now we are going to do some sight syllables. Okay. The first one, the first syllable, sight syllable we're going to learn is like at the end of assistant or consonant. So it says int. If this were the word, it would be ant. But this is a syllable and it says ent. My turn, ent. Together, ent. Your turn, very good. We'll practice that every day. Another sight syllable we're going to learn today is mod, like in model, modern. So this is mod. Together, mod. Your turn, very good. Okay, this is a root word, which means there could be a prefix or a suffix. So it's part of a word and it has meaning to it. This is for, and it means in front. Okay, so like in forecast or forehead. So for and forecast, that's when you're trying to tell what the weather's going to be like ahead of time, in front of. Okay, forehead is the front of your head, in front of. Okay, so this says for. Together, for. Your turn, for. Good. And remember, it's a root word, which means there could be a prefix or there could be a suffix following it. Okay, and it means in front. Okay, this is fun, like in phonics. And this has a meaning as well. This means sound. So when you see fawn, you know it has something to do with sound. Phonics is what we're working on now. It's the sounds that letters make. So fawn. Okay, we have another new sight syllable. This one is sin, sin, like in the words synthesizer or synagogue. And this has a meaning too. This means together. So like in synthesizer, that is something that puts sounds together. Synagogue, that is a place where people come together for worship. So sin means together. My turn, sin. Your turn, or together, sin. Your turn, good. The last new sight syllable that we have is in, like in enjoy, entire, or flatten. This says in. So you can tell this can be at the beginning, the end, or even the middle of a word. Okay? All right, let's review our other sight syllables. And then we'll practice spelling syllable by syllable and reading syllable by syllable. Sub, good. Remember, this means under, like submarine. Micro, like microphone. Okay, and remember, this means small. Like a microphone would take a small sound and make it louder or larger. Okay, remember, this one is ist, like smallest, biggest. So it says ist. Good. This one is duct. Sis. Mint. Less. Sim. Scent. X. Sorry, I couldn't get it out. Add. Pick. Call, like college. Ish. Okay, we're going to have some of our final stable syllables. Remember, a final stable syllable is when there's a consonant LE. Okay, so this says tool, dole, bull, Gull, pull, lee. Very good. Now let's practice reading syllable by syllable. So I will write a syllable on the board. Okay, let's look here. Remember, this means, or it says X, X. Let's look at our second syllable. Act, exact, exact. Good. Let's read another word, syllable by syllable, because this is what we'll end up doing. We're going to learn how to break up unknown words syllable by syllable. So this one is a closed syllable. So we know it's a short A. Sam. Now I'm adding another syllable, a final stable syllable. So we've got a closed syllable, final stable syllable. So this was Sam, and this is pull. Sample. Good job. All right. Okay. The syllable is per. Let's read the second syllable, which is a closed syllable. Mit, permit, permit. So permit, or it could even be permit. Permit would mean like I give you permission to do it. Permit is something that you would fill out, a document you would fill out to get permission to do something. Okay, let's do this one. The syllable is a closed syllable. So bot. And then we now have a final stable syllable. Tool. Bot, tool, bottle. Very good. Okay. And last one. Okay. This we can see is an open syllable. So it should say A. Dre. We're going to see what happens sometimes. So Dre, Matt, ick, dramatic, dramatic. Well, we know dramatic's not a word. We say dramatic. Remember we learned about schwa. Sometimes vowels don't make the sound we expect them to, and if not, a lot of times they make the schwa sound, which remember is I or so dramatic. So if a vowel, when you're putting the word together and it doesn't sound quite right, remember it could be a schwa sound, which is I or Okay, let's now practice spelling syllable by syllable. So say perhaps, perhaps. Okay, the first syllable, and if you don't have paper and pencil, now's a good time to push pause. You can go grab pencil and paper. And if not, we'll go ahead and or if you already have your materials, we'll get started. So say perhaps. What's the first syllable? Per. Good. So let's spell per. Per. So it should look like this. Per. Perhaps. Haps. So spell haps. Apps. So it should look like this. Good. So when you're trying to spell a multi-syllabic word or a word with more than one syllable, break it up and spell it syllable by syllable. Use what you know about the syllable types to help you. Okay, say copper. Copper. What's the first syllable? Cop. Okay, so cop. Copper. What's the second syllable? Per. Good. So first syllable look like this. Closed syllable. Copper. So that should be with the second syllable. Good job. Okay, say visit. Visit. What's the first syllable? Viz. Okay, viz. So something I want to teach you about the z sound is S can say s or it can say z. So in visit, the z sound is actually an S. So viz, so it will look like this. So S can say S or it can say Z, okay? Visit, okay? So the second syllable is it, which we know how to spell. Visit. All right, say cabin, cabin. She went to a cabin in the woods. Cabin. What's the first syllable? Cab. Very good. Cab. And I know that's a closed syllable type because I hear a short A. So it looks like this. Cabin. What's the second syllable? In. Very good. So go ahead and spell in. And then you have cabin. I would like to visit a cabin. Perhaps this summer. Okay. Last one. Dinner. I had a hot dog for dinner. Say dinner. What's the first syllable? Din. Good. Din. So it should look like this. That's our closed syllable. And then dinner. Ner. Go ahead and spell the syllable ner. And there you have dinner. So to see how when you have a syllable or a word with more than one syllable, if you break it up syllable by syllable and spell each syllable, it's going to help you. All right, guys, we will continue learning about syllable types and practicing different syllables so we can become automatic readers and spellers. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye, Lions.